Ahoy there! I'm so excited to get to swim on down and share a story with you. But before I do, I should probably introduce myself first. My name is Nymphia, and I'm the guardian spirit of the Mediterranean Sea. While being a sea guardian does have its fair share of challenges, somebody has to do it, and someone has to make sure that balance is maintained under the sea. Well, before I share my story with you, I wanted to share with you something very special to me. It's one of my most prized possessions that I keep within this very special jewelry box. Would you like to see what's inside? Oh, wonderful. Well, let's go ahead and look at it together. As you can see, something very sparkly in here. Now, this pendant was given to me by my father, Oceanus. He's known as the Lord of the Sea. But this necklace actually belonged to my mother, Queen Amphitrite. Now, Amphitrite was a very powerful goddess, especially within the European area. And I thought it would be fun to share a little bit of information about her, and to kind of share her legacy a little bit. Now, my mother, Queen Amphitrite, was the goddess of the sea, and she became synonymous with the element of water. She was known by many names, but two of the ones that were the most common were Salacia by the Romans, and of course, Amphitrite by the Greeks. While Poseidon was meant to symbolize the more violent and unpredictable nature of the sea, Amphitrite was meant to be a bit more of the benevolent side. She would often rise to the depths to help sailors in need who sailed across the Mediterranean, and made friends with quite a few sea creatures, especially dolphins. Well, this story that I'm about to tell you was how Amphitrite, the queen of the sea, and Poseidon met for the first time. And fun fact, it does feature a dolphin as one of its main characters. Well, go ahead and sit back, relax, enjoy a wonderful cup of tea, and I'll go ahead and share our story with you. The story of Amphitrite and Poseidon. Our story begins on the Isle of Naxos, close to the Aegean Sea. Amphitrite and her sisters were dancing by the water's edge when they were noticed by Poseidon. Poseidon saw Amphitrite and how beautiful she was, and he became immediately smitten with her. Soon enough, he tried to ask her to marry him. Unfortunately for the love-struck sea god, Amphitrite didn't really return his feelings. So she decided to hide. She ran far and wide and decided to take shelter within the Atlas Mountains, where she hoped Poseidon would never find her. It was then that Poseidon decided to enlist the help of the dolphin king Delphinus. The sweet-natured dolphin decided to take on the mission. His search took him many months, but eventually he found Amphitrite hidden within the mountains. Amphitrite was so drawn to Delphinus that she decided to listen to what he had to say. And upon hearing that Poseidon, the god of the sea, wanted to have her as his wife, she decided to agree, and eventually the two got married. As a reward for his good deed, Delphinus was immortalized in the night sky as a constellation. While my mother was usually very kind and very benevolent, she did have a little bit of a temper sometimes, especially when Poseidon was kind of up to his old tricks. Well, there was one day that he fell in love with a very beautiful sea nymph named Scylla, and Amphitrite was so jealous, she actually placed a curse on her by slipping a very particular magic herb within her bath. The bath ended up transforming the beautiful nymph into a sea monster, and she roams within the Aegean Sea to this day, known to gobble up many sailors that sail by, especially one rather famous one by the name of Odysseus. Some of you might even recognize that name. Now, so the legend goes, after their courtship, Amphitrite and Poseidon had two children, one being a very famous merman by the name of Triton. If you know my friend Ariel, you probably might remember that name, for he was the sea king of Atlantica. The second was a beautiful daughter who was a sea nymph named Rhode. Pretty amazing story, isn't it? And even still, her legacy still rings true to this day. There are many, many ships named after her, and her name still remains synonymous with the element of the sea. Well, I should probably be swimming on my way. I wouldn't want to be late to meet Oceanus for our under-the-sea banquet. But I'm so excited you decided to stop by and share a story. I hope you'll get to swim by again soon. And remember, mermaid kisses and starfish wishes. I'll see you again soon. Safe travels, my friends. And